Guys, so today I am going to be doing a little um interview session, just kind of like an introduction of myself. And yeah, I'm just here being cozy in my lounge with my red blanket and my favorite robe and my favorite mug with the hot chocolate. Because yeah, it's a very mini introduction. So you know how online sometimes we do those anonymous ask me a question thing. So I had sent out one of those ask me a question things. I don't remember if it was on my Instagram or my WhatsApp, maybe like a year or two ago. And I got a few questions. So I screenshotted them and I have written down a few of them. And I've added a few questions just by way of introduction, just so you get to know me better. So basically, get to know Nandi better. So, I think the first question, I don't even know who asked this question because everybody who knows me knows that I am a Mupon girl. So I assume that this is one of like, it was coming from a new follower or somebody who didn't know me. Person asked where you're from. Where are you from? So to answer that question, I'm from Jos Plateau State. I'm Mupon by tribe, indigenous tribe of Mupon. Um, yeah, basically, I'll show you. Hold on. So yeah, very proudly Mupun. I have my neck bead with me. I have a bracelet as well. These are our colors: white, blue, and brown. So Mupun is a very small tribe, a small people in Plateau State, in Pangshin local government of Plateau State. I know that a lot of people think Nigeria is just Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So they say, where are you from? And I say, I'm from Jos. And they say, oh, you're Hausa. No, I'm not. Or they say, where are you from? Your name doesn't sound like Yoruba. You must be Igbo. No, I'm not. And then I go ahead to say, it's not just Igbo, Hausa, and Yorubas that exist in plateaus in Nigeria. So, hello, guys. I am in one of the minority groups in the Middle Belt, North Central, not a Hausa, definitely a Christian. And we are called the Mupun people. Mupun, Mupun. So you can Google that if you want to. So that answers where I'm from. The second question was, what secondary school did you attend? I attended Kina High School in Jos. Yay! Great CHS. Do we have a slogan? Yeah, I went to Kina High. Just to add to that, I went to a primary school called Gaskia Highland Private School, Jos. Yes, went to Gaskia Highland, close to, was on Ahmadu Bello Way, no, Kashmir Ibrahim Street, which is not far from the Charcoal Market in Terminus. So that was where I went to primary school. And our very amazing principal, Mommy Fayakin, bless her soul, she's late now. She did a very good job in setting our, English language background. She was a good thumbs up to you, Mommy Fayakin. Thumbs up to you. And of course, all the teachers we had in primary school. And since we're answering the school question, I went to University of Abuja for university and I studied law in University of Abuja between 2012 February to 2017 November. And then I did my graduation in 2018 February, I think, or March, something like that. But yeah, that is it for school, primary, secondary, and university. Another question was, what's your favorite color? How you'd say, ask me a question and somebody wants to know my favorite color. Maybe they wanted to buy me a car in my favorite color, who knows? But yeah, my favorite color, it used to be yellow. As a child, my favorite color was yellow, just in solidarity of being in yellow house. Nothing else, really. I just was obsessed with yellow because I was in yellow house in primary school. I was in yellow house in secondary school. So yeah, I had to love yellow. So yellow was my favorite color. But now I think I just love dark shades, just dark colors. Burgundy, coffee, gray, black, sea green, that's like algae green. Just dark colors are good for me because I just can't be bothered with color riot, bright colors, pink, fuchsia, pepper red, yellow, lemon green, those colors. I just can't. Yeah, next question was, what were the best years of your life? Hmm, best years of my life. I'll say from like age 25 till now, since I've been able to, really know myself, know what works for me, discover myself, just grow, be happy in myself. I have found this really childlike energy. Growing up, I used to be very serious as a teenager. I still am very serious. Maybe it comes with being a lawyer, I don't know. But yeah, best years of my life are now. You best believe they are now. Like I literally just celebrated my 30th, and you guys, yes, these are the best years of my life. That's all I can say. On the flip side, worst year of my life. Worst years of my life will be secondary school. My God in heaven. I couldn't wait for secondary school to be over. And I think I still have PTSD from my secondary school. You see, the thing is, I came from another school. I came from an all-girls school where I did my JS one, my mommy's alma mater. She wanted me to go to her alma mater, but after JS one, it didn't work, so I went to another school, a mixed school. And when I came, first of all, even as a child, I could see the difference between where I was coming from and where I was. I mean, no shade to where I was coming from, but it was just different people, different caliber of people. I just felt like I didn't fit in, like I didn't belong. Plus, you know how everyone had already formed their cliques and their groups. Everybody had already chosen their friends from just one. So coming in just two, I just felt out of place. It took a lot of work for me to, settle in. But even still, I didn't enjoy it at all. I always felt like I was panting, like I was struggling to fit in, like I was struggling to do this, struggling to keep my head up above the tides. Yeah, secondary school was a hard time. Would I do secondary school again? Never, never ever. Not the way I did it. I do not remember secondary school being great at all. So those are the years I wouldn't want to ever repeat. That's from like my just two to my just three. No way. But I mean, we're here now. We've gone past it. I'm just saying, in retrospect, they were the worst years of my life. Um, are you single? I'm sure that when I did this thing, when I did this Ask Me Any Question, I wasn't single. But as of today, the 25th of February, 2025, I am as single as a Pringle. I am single. Am I searching? I'm available to be searched. If that makes sense. Yes, I am searching. Desperate? Nah. Nah. Contrary to popular, or rather, yeah, to popular opinion, say as you get older, you should just, settle with anyone, just pick anyone. They say, the woman is in her 40s and she's still doing shakara, or she's in her 30s, she's still doing shakara. It's like, we have never heard, though. You that is 35, shouldn't you just be picking anyone? Shouldn't you even be happy that they are still coming? Shouldn't you even pick the one that is coming? That kind of rubbish talk. But yeah, um, excuse me. I have choked. Mm. So yeah, contrary to popular opinion, the older a woman gets, the more picky she should be. The older the wine, the sweeter in it. Okay. So if that's the case, if the wine only gets sweeter, why should the woman then settle as she gets older. She gets older, she should be more picky. She should be, a woman in her prime. Again, contrary to popular opinion, a woman in her prime is in her 30s. People say, oh, a woman in her prime is 19 to 20, 23. I'm like, you guys must be pedophiles. 19 to 23, that's where my life is just starting. Excuse you. How is that my prime? And then they say for a man, his prime is in his 40s. And I'm like, yeah, messed up generation. So I don't believe that a woman's prime ends at 23. I don't agree. So this is, the woman who is earning in her 30s. This is the woman who she has tasted life, or she has seen different kinds of men, and she has decided, this is the kind of man I want. This is the kind of way of life I want. This is the kind of life I want to live. I want to know God, or I don't want to know God. Whatever is going on in her life, she has made up her mind by her 30s. So at this point, of course, she's taking her time. Of course, she's being more picky. Of course, not just any man would do. Of course, the man I would have married at 25, I would not even look at him at 30. It's just, that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Yes, so that's just the way it goes, my darlings. It only gets better. Ahead. Upward, upward. There's no settling here. We don't do that here. There's no settling. As Eric would say, we don't do that here. So, no settling. Next question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This person must be an interviewer. You must have been on a board that has interviewed people a lot of times, because where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's like the most interviewee question ever. In 5 years, this baby girl would like to be married. Yeah, I see myself married. An Odogu's wife, chilling, no stress. I see my business registered. I have really been trying to register my business, but I've had some hitches with being abroad, because you either have to own your house, or your landlord has to give you written permission to register. And so that has put me back, on hold. But I hope to get there soon. I hope to have my ILR, which is my indefinite leave to remain, so I don't have to rely on a visa, and I can, have the freedom to invest in myself, my business, and do other things that I'd love to do. I hope to have my license, my law license. I'm currently in the registration process, so I hope to start my law course by the 31st of March. Yeah, 31st of March is when the next cohort begins. So I would love to start my law course, the first one, the SQE one, which is the Solicitors Qualifying Examination, Part 1. I'll write the exam in January of next year, God willing, after the 10-month course, which starts on the 31st of March. And then the Part 2 will come immediately after Part 1 results are released. And so sometime July next year, God willing, I should be done with my qualification and then start to look for, law jobs. So yeah. And in 5 years, I really hope to be a proper sister of God, like daughter of Zion. If you guys think now that I'm spirit coco, in 5 years, I want to be fire coco. I want to be touch not my anointed. I want to be on that level of spiritual. I want to be able to say, God told me. I want to be able to say, I'm going to ask God about this. Let me take this to God in prayer and come back to you. I want to be able to say, what would Jesus do for every situation? I want to be able to pray and fast 10 days. Last year, I did my first ever 7 days fast. And, I've been trying to push it and push it. And this year, like, I think with Hallelujah Challenge, I did 10 leading up to my birthday. So if I've been able to do 7 and do 10, I'm hoping that by 5 years' time, I'm going 3 months, I'm going 6 months. I am just constantly praying, you know, interceding on behalf of humanity, because humanity leads. We need intercessment. What do they call it? Interceding. Yeah, that's interceding. We need to be interceded on. We need to be interceded for. Whatever the English is, we need intercessory prayers, definitely. So yeah, in 5 years, I want to be on fire for Jesus. Glory. So yes, to answer the where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's the answer. Married to a good man. Emphasis on good. Business registered here and back at home, running smoothly. What is my business? I have a Nandi's jewelry. I have a business where I cook and I make homemade drinks. My Instagram handle is linked in my bio on my YouTube, so you can find my Instagram page and see the kind of things I do. But yeah, I cook. And how did I start cooking? I started cooking because University of Abuja was doing a lot of strikes when I was trying to become a lawyer. So I started to learn how to bake and cook on the side while I tried to become a lawyer, and now I can do both. Yeah, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So now strikes became an addition to my life because I can cater for any kind of event and I still get to be a lawyer. Yay! So that is my 5 years goal. Thank you. Next question. What is your favorite food? Yam. Yam is my favorite food. And that is why I almost went broke when I came to this country because I didn't know when not to buy yam. I did not know that yam was for big men. I did not know that yam was for titled men in this country. Yam was so expensive. That's even then. Oh. Now, now I used to buy 2 tubers for £5 in London. Then, now even 2 tubers for £7 they won't give me. Now it is £4 per tuber. One tuber that's like this. The last time I got one big tuber in the African shop, the man put it on the scale and gave me almost £6 for a tuber of yam, you guys. So as much as yam is my best food, I am moving away from yam gradually. But I love yam, all forms of yam. My first top lover, my first top most loved yam is roasted yam. Roasted yam with palm oil sauce. You know how they do it in Amadu Bellowe? Yes, roasted with palm oil and pepper and she is uziza or utazi leaves, one of them, those bitter leaves. That is where you find me, number one. Then I could do fried yam with some sauces. Then I could do boiled yam. Then yam porridge. My least like kind of yam is pounded yam. Yes, pounded yam. I find pounded yam too heavy. So that is my least loved yam, pounded yam. But yeah, yam any day, anytime. I would eat yam. And I can't pound yam anyways. So it makes sense that I don't like it because I don't know how to pound it. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble. Whoever was listening and thinking, oh, she's wife material, she's going to pound yam. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pound yam. Sorry. The good thing is we have food processors now, don't we? Can you see mine at the back there? Yes, I love yam. I have my processor. It processes my yam for me. Everybody is happy. So, is this even a real question? I didn't even pay attention to these questions. So this one says, do you have a preference for your husband? Do you have a preference for my husband? In bracket tribe. Okay. So growing up, I remember having a conversation with my cousin and my sister. I'm sure if they watch this video, they'll be laughing at me like I was one for all for one. I told them that I was the one who was going to marry a Mupun man on our behalf, on behalf of all of us. I am the one who is going to marry from home because one, I really loved my decam. I still love him. I love my father. And I didn't want anything to take me far from home. So I'm like, let me not go and marry from far. Then tomorrow, Christmas time, they'll say we have to follow your husband to his place, and I can't see my own people. But like, if I marry from my place, even if my husband's house is in the village or wherever it is, I'll still come home for Christmas, so I can still go and see my husband's family. I can still go and see my decam, and everybody is happy. So I was looking at proximity to my decam, and that was why I wanted to marry my opponent. I wanted to be at home. But then, you guys, I gave it my best shot. I gave all the Mupun men I knew a shot. Simply because he was a Mupun man and he liked me, I gave him a chance because I wanted to marry from home. After some time, I was like, Nandi, stop building castles in the sand. It's not happening, Mama. It's not happening. And again, no dig at Mupun men. It was just not working for me. Maybe that's not where God wanted me to be. It didn't work, so I moved. Then the next people I was crazy about Igbo. I wanted an Igbo husband. Wanted to be Nwoyedogu. Nwoyedogu. I want to be Odogu's wife. I want to be pampered. But then in the end, my dear, if you marry a good man from anywhere, anybody will pamper you if he's a good person. No? And I'm sure there are Igbo men that will still not pamper you. So the prayer should be, God, give me your son. God, give me your child. I want a Christian man. So yes, a Christian man through and through. Definitely a Christian man. That is my preference for my husband. Yeah, I don't have a specific. So let me see. These are the questions I have. Let me see if I can think of any question that would interest you guys. Let me tell you guys. Okay, so I've lived in the UK. So this is the end for the questions I had. Then this is just like one or two. I'm going to interview myself. So I've lived in the UK for 4 years now. 4 years in April 13th. It will be 4 years, which is in about 2 months' time. And I moved here for my master's in 2021, April 13th. I did my master's in medical law. So let me tell you guys how I became a medical lawyer, or how I chose medical law. So in secondary school, all my life, up until SS2, I wanted to be a medical doctor. My daddy's older brother of blessed memory was a medical doctor. We never got to meet him because he died before my daddy even got married. But all his medical books and all his medical robe, his lab coat, everything was in our house. My daddy loved him that much. He had a box with all his things. His robe, his books were in a shelf. And I was like, oh, I really want to be this man. Like, he must have been really good. His picture is framed on the wall in our lounge and all. And my daddy had very good stories to tell of his late brother. So I wanted to be a doctor. And so I worked towards becoming a doctor up until my SS2, when it was time to write mock exams in secondary school. You know, you write mock before you go to SS3. And when it was time to write mock, I was scared. I was telling myself, Nandi, I don't think you can do this, because I was failing chemistry. And the requirements, of course, for medicine is chemistry, biology, English, physics, maths. Those were your 5 tops. So I'm like, God, I don't want to write WAEC twice. Nothing concern WAEC twice. Anything that had to do with WAEC twice, I had removed my hands. Because I knew that if I did not write it with my mates and pass it, I was not the kind of person who could give myself internal push by myself that you can do this and do it later. So I needed to get it right in that class with my mates. So I sat down and talked to myself. I said, Nandi, what are we doing here? I remember our guidance counselor, every school had a guidance counselor. She's like, Nandi, I think you can do this, because you've had seniors who had worse results than you, who still went ahead to write their WAEC and pass and become doctors. So I think you can do this. You can do it. She encouraged me. I was too afraid because, again, my father was like, with my father, there was no lukewarm. It's either you were very good or you were very bad. He would even take you if you were very bad and know that you're struggling than if you were in the middle. So it was like there was no option. And I was already passing, so I had no reason to come and fail. So I was like, I don't want to fail WAEC. So what should I do? I said, okay, I'll go and do a course that did not require calculations like chemistry and maths. Since chemistry and maths were my problem, I didn't want to do any calculations. So I said I was going to go to the social sciences because in my secondary school it was either you were science or social sciences. We didn't have A, B, and C. We didn't have, I don't think we had arts. I don't, if I remember clearly, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. So I wanted to do social sciences. And for social science, my property was like, okay, do accounting. I said, daddy, this is counterproductive. We are running away from calculations. We can't be doing accounting, economics. No. Like, we do law. Because apparently they said you just needed a C6 for maths with law. Like, okay, a C6. Apparently you need a C6 for whatever. Even if it was medicine, all you needed to do was pass, actually. But then the thing is, they would look at some subjects when you're now trying to apply for the course. But all you needed was a pass. But I don't know why I thought I needed to have like A's or B's. I sure went for, law, which only needed a C6. Not like you didn't even need the maths at all. To think about it now, you still needed maths, but you just needed to have a C6, which was a pass. So I went for law. And yeah, I thankfully, this was mock SS2 first term. Before we went for mock in SS2 second term, I switched from sciences to social sciences because I was afraid of chemistry. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could do it, so I swapped. And then I went and I did law. I went to social sciences. I knew that bad as a bad, I can read, I can talk, we'll do literature, anyhow, we shall get that C6, we shall pass. And I think only, I had my C only in maths in my WAEC. Even as I swapped in my second semester, even as I swapped in my first semester SS2, I still had A's and B's. My C was only in maths in WAEC. I had one C, and then I had A's and B's. I read literature. I borrowed books. I read all those books we needed to read. I did my English. I did, I think, agriculture and maths and some other subjects. But yeah, I made it. I made it. And I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. And if I put in that energy, trust me, I would have done the medicine. Because again, thinking about it, if I was able to read literature books that had no business with me in one semester and do my mock, why didn't I think I could do chemistry that I was already used to? But I was already defeated in my mind. So I'm happy that I swapped anyways. Because I did. And I went on to do law. So when I got to 100 level, I started with law. Of course, you do general law. 200 level, you start doing elective courses. And then I discovered that there was a path called medical law. I'm like, oh, medical law, interesting. And because my heart had always been there, I felt like it was just chemistry that cheated me out of becoming a doctor. I went for medical law. I was like, okay, even if I can't be a doctor myself, I can contribute to the medical growth. So let me do medical law. So I chose medical law. And that was how I did. And it was supposed to be an elective. Oh, trust me, you guys, I didn't even do the medical law as an elective in university. I ended up doing environmental law and something because I was more concerned about my CGPA. And they told me that, oh, this medical law lecturer is very tough, Nandi. If you really want to push and remain on your toe, and then you have a better chance with another subject. So I did environmental law, and I did some other elective. I don't remember. But yeah, I made my 2-1, thankfully. Because imagine that I did not do the medical law and I did not make the 2-1, I would have been paying, but I didn't. And then I got my 2-1. So literally in my 500 level was when I entered the 2-1. Believe it or not, you guys, I was on a 2-2-2-2-2. It was in my 500 level first semester. I entered a 2-1. So yes, the Lord did it. But was it even first semester or second semester? It was like last minute kind of 2-1. So I eventually did not do medical law as an elective, but I knew that there was a medical law pathway. So I made up my mind that that was what was going to be my master's. And so after then, did NYIC. When it was time to come for my master's, I knew straight away medical law was what I was doing. I got a lot of discouragement. Medical law is not flourishing in Nigeria. It's not like oil and gas law, intellectual property law, where you do one case and you make loads of money. And I'm like, it is medical law or medical law. Like, I can't think of anything else, because oil and gas law, my mind was not there. Land law, I did not even know what's constitutional law. Constitutional law, it is God that helped me to write. I don't even know what they were teaching from the beginning of the semester till the end of the semester. I shall passed it. When it was time to do exam, I shall crammed it, because constitutional law, I did not know what was happening. I just crammed and I studied and I wrote. But trust me, you guys, I was lost for the most of the semester. So I knew that it had to be medical law. That was my drive. And I pursued medical law, and I came here and I did my master's in medical law. And my dissertation was a comparison between our Health Act in Nigeria and the Health Act NHS in the UK. And it was nice. I mean, there was really nothing to compare, because you guys, we really, really, really need to work on the health law in Nigeria. Like, the health law, it was just like, it was not even more than, how many pages was the act? Was it up to 100 or 150? A lot of repetitions, a lot of errors. There was really nothing to really compare. But I made use of what I had and tried to get case studies and things. But yeah, it wasn't the worst thing to happen to me. Doing medical law wasn't the worst thing to happen. But I think that's a good question to answer, just to give you guys an idea. So I am a lawyer by profession. And then I'm a caterer by passion and as a result of strike, really. And I'm a Jesus baby by salvation. By salvation, just because God chose to show me mercy and I'm here. I lecture sometimes in a college. If I get like part-time sometimes here. Business law, I did it last year. I couldn't do it this year because I had a different job. But if I get the opportunity next year, I will do it again. It was the most, tasking thing I had to do. Lecture young adults in England. Oh my God, it was so stressful, but I did it. And I enjoyed it. I did. In the end, after all the strenuous parts were over, but I did it. So, I'm a 95 baby, born in 95, made in 95, always 95. I just turned 30 5 days ago, as at today, the 25th. So on the 20th, yes, I turned 30. And I think that is 33 minutes. I think there has been a lot of get to know Nandi. I think that you guys can ask questions if you have any more questions. You can attach it to this video if you're not clear about anything, but I think I've been as clear as possible. And that is just like, an introduction to my life. Again, I didn't feel like doing anything too much makeup. I just wanted to be in my comfort zone doing this self-interview. So yeah, I hope that at the end of this interview, we have gotten to know Nandi a little bit more better. I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.